This teenage mother's negligence led to the death of her baby, and she remained completely unbothered until this happened. Nicole, whose 19-year-old daughter Bianca was pregnant, left for work thinking she'd be taking her to the hospital the next day, as Bianca had finished her 9-month term and was about to go into labor. But when Nicole got home and headed upstairs to her daughter's room, she froze in horror. There was blood everywhere, and a newborn baby was lying next to the placenta, not moving at all. Bianca was sitting on the bed, staring straight at her. That's when Nicole grabbed her phone and immediately called 911.
911, do you need police or paramedic?
I need an ambulance in my house right now.
Okay.
I'm sorry. My daughter just gave birth to something. I need that please. Okay, how old is your daughter? Was she full term? Okay, and the baby, where is the baby now? All right, get the child, is the baby wrapped up in a blanket? Okay, I'm going to tell you what to do, okay? Get next to the baby and put you... I know what to do, I just can't. Okay, well, someone needs to. Where's your daughter? Okay. Yeah, listen, what's your name? When did it happen? Hours? Okay, so she didn't just have the baby? I literally just walked in from work. Okay, ask her. When did she have the baby? When did you have the baby? Hours ago. She said hours ago. Yes. And she didn't call anyone? Where is the baby at in the house? In her bed. Was she sleeping? Were you sleeping? No. Okay, is the baby warm to the touch still? No. Is this your daughter's first baby? Yes. And she was alone at the house? Yes. We're coming, Law. I'm talking to Did you know she was pregnant? Yes, they're coming. So you're also on the way?
Yes, ma'am, we are.
Thank you. And she was supposed to be induced tomorrow?
Paramedics arrived and began performing CPR on the baby, who had turned blue. The officers had previous encounters with the girl and knew she had mental and emotional issues. When they asked her what had happened, she told them she didn't remember because she had experienced a seizure during delivery. She also mentioned that she delivered the baby while wearing shorts and only removed them after the baby was born. The baby was pronounced dead. A year later, the officers returned with a warrant for the girl, who is now living with her boyfriend. There were still many questions to be answered.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, sir. How can I help you?
Good. My name's Brian. I'm with the sheriff's office.
Yes, sir.
I have some paperwork to drop off to Bianca. If you could just ask her to come to the door, please.
Yes, sir, I can.
Is she upstairs, downstairs?
She's upstairs. Would you like to go up and get her yourself?
So she's got a warrant for her arrest, just so you know. Okay?
I was not aware of that. Pardon my language. You want to go get her?
Here, let me just explain it to you. It's okay. So here's the situation.
Let me sit down because
You can sit down. It's okay. And they filed an arrest warrant with the state attorney's office, and the judge signed it. So I'm trying to just do this peacefully and easy.
I understand. Let me.
Who else is inside the
My
house?
son is upstairs, but let me go in and let him know because he will get very upset. You won't have any trouble with him. I will manage that. I will ask her to come down here. Where are you taking her?
She's going to the Palm Beach County main jail.
Bianca had not been talking to her husband since she was arrested for domestic violence in Texas and had been living with her boyfriend ever since. Her husband served in the military and had been deployed outside the United States.
Sure she's upstairs right now?
Yes, sir. I'm 100% positive. I just spoke with her about 30 minutes ago.
Okay. If she doesn't want to listen or he doesn't want to listen, and she doesn't want to come down, then I just need you to walk back down the stairs.
Yes, sir.
And come out to me, but...
I know that she's not dressed, so can you give me at least 10 minutes so that she can get
No,
dressed?
we're going to need to see her, and then she can get dressed.
Yes, sir.
We can allow her to get dressed.
Yes, sir.
But I need her to come down immediately,
Yes, sir.
put on some kind of quick clothing, and then we'll go from there, but I need to see her. Because
Yes, sir.
I don't want to escalate this.
I understand,
So
sir.
just... Are there any dogs in the house?
Yes, sir, but she's 12. She's 18 years old. She's got 4 teeth in her head. I'll put her in the bathroom.
Just only you and your son and her?
Yes,
Those are the
sir.
only people home?
Yes, sir.
The following footage has been blurred by the police department, but we'll explain what is happening. Here, the officer is trying to explain the situation to her and her boyfriend.
Yeah, she's just getting dressed.
All right, we need to see her real quick, and then we'll let her get dressed.
Well, what? Baby, you need to stay to see whether they'll allow you to get dressed.
You have an arrest warrant, okay? It's regarding the incident that the detective's already talked to you about. So that's what the situation is. You have an arrest warrant. You have to come with us tonight. You're going to see a judge in the morning. It's Detective Derogatis. You have an arrest warrant. It's a manslaughter warrant.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
The officer then goes on to explain that she'll be seeing a judge the following morning and will have the option to bond out.
So the situation is this. Okay, you have an arrest warrant. You have to see a judge in the morning. You speak to the judge, and there's going to be an opportunity for a bond and potentially bond out, okay? But for tonight, and actually for this to happen at this time of night, this is a good time of night for this to happen because now you don't have to sit at the jail all morning. I'm going to treat you like a lady. I'm not here to treat you like a criminal, but I just ask that you follow directions, and that's what we ask you to do. I need you to stay down here, okay? No weapons on you or anything like that? Put your hands on your head, turn around.
Any weapons upstairs?
Go ahead and walk up the stairs. Just a pair of sweatpants and a long sleeve t-shirt. How about this? This is good. That's perfect. Nice heavy cotton.
Restroom's right behind him. Check it.
Christopher, can you bring me a pair of socks?
You're good. Just walk down the street. Come out here. Take a right. Yep. We're gonna walk this way.
Bianca was taken to jail, where the detective tried to understand what had happened. We know that this is a long interview, but slowly, everything will come to light, and we'll understand why Bianca did what she did.
Long time since I've seen you.
It's been a while. It's been a while.
Oh, it's so hot.
It won't be for long. It's cold in here.
I know, I love it. It was like 103 degrees outside today.
But you have the right to remain silent and not answer any questions. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Any statement you make must be freely and voluntarily given. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So where are you working at these days?
Answer.
Well, you were doing that before. Where are you dancing at?
Same place, Cheetah.
Cheetah?
It's like on and off.
All right. You making good money at least?
Not really. My boyfriend doesn't let me work.
Okay. That's Chris?
Yes.
He doesn't like to work? Okay. What does he do?
He does not work right now. He was doing construction. He's on the ankle bracelet.
Oh. What did he get in trouble for? What?
Yeah. Yeah, he was trying to protect me, and the guy hit me and then spit on me. They were fighting initially, and I broke it up like an idiot.
Right.
And the guy spit on me and pushed me to the floor, and Christopher has a really bad temper, and he turned around, picked up his pocket knife, and stabbed a kid.
Oh, for spitting on you and pushing. You can't do that.
Exactly.
Did you explain that to him later?
Yes, I was like freaking out. I was like, what
That's
do you
way
think?
over the top.
Right, I was like, you could have walked away, punched him maybe, but that was like,
A little extra.
yeah, I was like, I wouldn't do that.
Is he gonna be all right? What does his attorney say? You don't,
He's got
that's-
daddy's money.
Oh, good.
He's gonna be fine.
Do both parents live in the home?
No,
Just mom?
just mom.
Okay. You've been there quite a while then.
2 years?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The night this incident took place, the detective conducted interviews with several people, including Bianca, her mom, and the personnel present at the scene. These audios reveal quite a lot about what was going on back then.
Came home and her door was open, and I thought she was in her room, and I noticed the blinds were down. Like her blinds were broken down.
Okay.
And I was pissed. And I wasn't focusing on the scene in front of me until I noticed the baby. And I asked her what was in the bed. And she said, a baby. I said, whose baby? She said, mine.
Things aren't good with mom still.
I actually was just on the phone with her. I don't really talk to her because she's not a fan of Christopher's. Are they recording me here?
They do have recording systems in the building, but
Yeah.
what's going on with mom?
Well, she's protective over me, and he hasn't been nice to me in the past.
You have the same problem with your husband.
I don't have anybody down here. They all left.
Bianca.
I know. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I don't want you to be stuck in something like that, because you're not stuck. There's always a way. Will mom take you back?
No, she won't even give me her address. I was with my aunt for a while, and then I left to come back here. My aunt's like 75 years old.
My goodness.
I love her to death. I do. I just
Where does she live?
the Villages.
Oh, wow. You roll right there?
Yeah. It's pretty far.
That's pretty boring for a young girl. Whole life.
I was there for like 2 months and I was like, fine.
Yeah, I think everything closes by 9,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah, they have a square where they all like dance and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I can like feel she kind of like blames me for everything still. So I just don't talk about it.
As if she's serious. And I had her start to call 911, but her phone was gonna die, so I called from the house phone.
Okay.
And I just couldn't start CPR. I couldn't.
It's okay. It's not the same when it's in your house, right?
No.
Okay.
I've never done CPR on a baby. And they came. And they started to work on the baby.
Yeah.
I knew the baby was dead.
You did? How come?
Experience.
Oh yeah.
And then
Rob, you want to sit down? All right. Yeah.
And then they came and they took the baby. They were working on the baby in the van, in the truck. And then they left shortly, and there was another truck that came and took Bianca.
Oh, okay.
But I would like to kind of, since it's been a while and things are, you're fresh and you seem to be really together, which is great.
Really?
Yes. It appears, I know you're upset.
Right.
But you appear to be a lot stronger than you were.
Really? I don't remember at all.
Not being strong?
Mine blanked it out. No, like that, like when I came and talked to you before that, I
those
just
times,
don't
okay.
remember.
You know, because I remember you were staying with Chris, and then you came home. Tell me how that happened. What was going on back then, that you came home?
What do you mean?
Well, you were pregnant, and you were staying with Chris.
Oh, the day before when
Yeah.
I got into the home. Okay. I
So,
remember.
yeah, so tell me what was going on.
Like the entire thing, or?
Yeah, because I've gotten bits and pieces, right? Because like you said, things were, you know, and I'm looking at you now. I don't mind, it's not supposed, but go ahead. Because it smells good, actually, even though it's bad for you, but it's worse than cigarettes.
It is.
But what you know, the first time we talked, the second time we talked, you were not how you appear now, and then so I want you to kind of have a conversation. That's all, just to kind of understand. So yeah, so from the beginning, tell me, or start with that day, the day before when you were at Chris's and then weren't.
So I was living there most of my pregnancy.
Okay.
I was in the beginning. I was, obviously with my mom, and then my mom and I fight like cats and dogs. So I left. Moved in with him. That day, sorry, not that day, that night, I have very little memory of. I remember hanging out with him, and I remember waking up the next day. He told me the next day, you had 6 seizures last night in your sleep. 3 of them I was here for. 3 of them he had went to the hospital, because apparently he kicked a bottle and cut his foot open, went to the hospital. And his mother told him that I had another 3 seizures. I remember waking up and not even remembering who he was. I knew he was a friend of mine before, and then now, we are boyfriend and girlfriend, but I had no memory. And so I was talking with him, and he was upset that I didn't remember a lot. And he kept asking me questions over and over. And I was like, I'm sick of this, I'm gonna go home. I remember driving home, knocking on my mom's door, which I never really do. And she kind of just stared at me, just like, because it's happened a lot before, and she just looked at me and was like, go to your room. So I went to my room, and I remember just sitting there, what it seems like hours.
Sorry to put you through this.
No, it's, I understand. And I remember laying down on my bed, and my phone kept going off. This is before. And I believe Chris had called me. He did call me, sorry. And he was like, are you okay? And I just, for some reason, couldn't fathom what he was saying. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. What do you mean? And he's like, okay. And he was like, do you remember me? And I was like, I'm sorry, we're friends. I'm at my mom's house. And he was like, okay. Hung up the phone. And my friends were calling me because Christopher had called my girlfriends and told them that I had, seizures, and they knew I was pregnant, and they were blowing me up, and I just wasn't answering. And I remember getting a cramp, I think, a really sharp pain, and I remember punching the wall behind me.
It was pretty clear that Bianca didn't have a very smooth sailing relationship with her mother, which is why she was living at her boyfriend's. That unfortunate night made their relationship even worse, as she told the detective in a phone call a few months ago.
How are you doing? Where are you staying?
I'm at my friend's house. My mom kind of abandoned me and kicked me out the house, threw me out the house. And
I thought you were staying with your dad.
No, that's complicated.
Okay.
My family is a mess, and then my mom's moving away to Orlando in 2 weeks, and we haven't really talked at all. We kind of just, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, she blames me for what happened. So.
What do you mean? What did she say?
Well, when it first happened, originally she didn't talk to me for a week because she was mad because she said that I could have done something. And then when the other day we actually talked on the phone, we were arguing, and I had brought up, because I was very upset, I was very emotional, I was yelling at her, and I was like, how could you abandon me, when I need you right now? During this time period, I just lost my child, and she's kind of making the situation about herself, and she was like, I'm going to say something about your kid that I'm going to regret later. She was like, and then she called me like a terrible mom or something.
What did she say? That she was going to regret? What did she say?
She wouldn't say it. I was like, just say it. I was like, just say whatever you need to say about my kid. And she was like, no, I'm going to regret it later. And I was like, I'm going to murder you. No, I know you're a cop. You did not hear that, sir. Oh, my God.
Oh, I know. Family issues could be pretty contentious.
Yes.
So are you safe where you're staying?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I remember pulling his umbilical cord out, and I just didn't know what to do for some reason. I'm sorry. So I remember pulling his umbilical cord out of me. I remember hearing it cry. I still hear it. I remember putting him I was wearing boxers. I remember pulling him next to me. And I don't know if I fell asleep or just shock. I just remember just sitting there, not even looking at him. I remember getting up. I remember getting up, getting in the shower. My mother called me while I was in the shower. She FaceTimed me, a regular called me, and asked me if she was going to take me to the C-section the next day because I was supposed to be induced because I broke my pelvis in a car accident a couple years ago. So everyone thought I couldn't give birth. She was on the phone with me, and I honestly don't even remember being on the phone with her. Oh my God.
Do you remember her calling them?
Who?
Do you remember her calling and you just remember what you guys talked about?
I remember her saying, am I going to bring you tomorrow to be induced? I don't even remember responding. I remember her just saying, okay, I'll be home soon. When she came home, she asked me if I wanted to go out to eat. And I remember she kept asking me over and over. I just kept getting mad because I kept saying yes. And then I just was just sitting there. And she eventually got frustrated and left the house. I remember her coming home and screaming in my face, what's going on? And I was like, I don't know. I remember her calling the ambulance and then her handing me the phone, and I just literally asked her, what do I say? I no idea what to say while they were on the phone.
It did get warm in here all of a sudden.
She handed me the phone and I was trying to talk and I couldn't. And then I remember her screaming, them asking her if she knew how to perform CPR. And she kept telling them, I can't do it. I remember sitting on the couch and watching them hook him up to an incubator and walk him to the car. We were at the hospital. I remember everyone looking at me like I was crazy.
And then the day you went to your mom's house was the day before he was born? Because you were there overnight?
Right.
Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Usually, there's a family member present with a pregnant woman at all times when she's about to deliver in a couple of days. But in this case, Bianca's mom was pretty detached from her. Even Bianca was very unsure about having the baby. She had initially thought of aborting him and later planned to put him up for adoption.
Is there any medical complications for the pregnancy?
There was like once or twice she started spotting. And she freaked out. Like January maybe? She came here.
Okay.
Because and there was I think one other time she was freaked out like she hadn't felt the baby move.
Okay. When was that?
To be honest, I don't remember.
Was it before the spotting or after the spotting?
After. She ate something to try to induce the baby moving and the baby started moving.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yes.
And how was her prenatal care?
She started prenatal care in the second trimester because at first she was going to terminate.
Okay.
But she's been going.
Now, I do remember you told me about doing some different kinds of throughout your times. What were you doing around this time?
I can't say it out loud.
Why do you feel like a murderer?
Because I stood there and I couldn't find out they'd call an ambulance.
Was something happening that you need to call the ambulance for?
Just give it birth.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to come mean.
What's that? No, you're not. I didn't think that was mean. Okay. So what were you doing, drug-wise?
Smoking weed.
Anything else?
Xanax.
Okay. And when had you taken Xanax?
I believe the night before.
That night before he was born?
No, sorry, a couple of nights before.
And when did you smoke the marijuana?
I don't remember.
Was it at mom's?
No, I would never do that. She would murder me.
Did you take any of the drugs at mom's while you were there?
No. I've never been drugs in our house.
Do you take any kind of oxys at the time?
Yes.
What kind of oxys? Were the oxycodone, oxycontin, oxymorphone? Oxycontin? And when would you have taken that?
I don't know. I was on and off.
Were you prescribed or just taking it?
No, I was prescribed.
Okay.
Prescribed it after my car accident and then I don't know why the doctor prescribed me that.
So when do you think the last time was that you took it before he was born?
Maybe a couple of days.
Okay. And did you mix that with the Xanax?
Yes.
Okay. And you said you didn't do the marijuana at mom's either?
No, sir.
All right.
Her complex relationship with her parents and with other people could be one of the reasons why she resorted to as a way to escape it all. As she mentioned, even her boyfriend had not treated her well in the past. Something must have triggered her to deliver the baby herself. We'll know more about this as the interview progresses.
Walk me through, so that night, you're home at mom's. What time did you go to bed?
I was up all night.
How come?
I've always been insomniac.
You sleep during the day usually?
Yes, sir, sorry.
Okay. So when you came to Mom's, did you sleep during the day while she was at work?
I don't remember, honestly.
Okay.
I remember, like, staring at my ceiling for hours. I think I was up the entire time. Because I remember when I got to the hospital, I slept for like 3 days.
Okay. So that night, overnight, before he was born, you were laying on your bed?
Yes, sir. I was on my bed the entire time.
Okay. And when you said you punched the wall, when did you punch the wall?
While I was giving birth.
Oh, okay. So what time did that start?
I don't know. I wasn't looking at my phone. During the day.
So daytime?
Yes, sir.
And so how do you know it was daytime?
It was light outside.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. That's a good way to know. All right. So was it just you in the house?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So your bed, here's the wall, and this is your bed, right? And you got a window here and a window here?
Yes, sir.
All right. So which way, this is you, here's your head, which way were you laying?
Against the window that's behind me.
So
And
if
my
this,
vanity's on my left.
so if this is your head is here against this window? Because the door to your room is here, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So your head is here. And you got a dresser here, don't you? Big long one?
Yes, and then my
remember
vanity
that.
was on my left.
Yeah.
When
And
you
then
came?
yeah, I was at that. Well, not when you were there. While you were at the hospital. And how bad was that pain? Those cramps? Was it really bad? On a scale of 1 to 10, where were we at?
10.
10. And did they happen for a long time or a short time? You said afternoon, so was it
Short time.
a short time? Okay. And what did you do when you felt those cramps?
Just laid there.
Okay. And when did you punch the wall? Because the wall didn't do anything to you. When did you punch the wall?
When I was pushing.
Okay. When did you start pushing?
I don't know, I wasn't looking at it.
No, I know, but when you said that you felt the cramps, you said it wasn't for a long time. So how long, from the time you started feeling the pain of the cramps, did you start pushing?
I remember I got a short pain, and then I got up, went to the bathroom, peed, went back to the room, laid there. I remember I kind of felt like I had to like poop.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like sitting there like, you know, like when you have to poop really bad, like
Yeah.
cramping. And I was just sitting there like, trying like to like hold it in. I remember punching the wall and giving birth.
Start pushing at that point? Okay. So you were holding it, and all of a sudden you punch the wall and start pushing? And how long did the pushing take?
No. Maybe 10 minutes.
Okay. And so then once was there pain after you pushed, or was it?
There was.
And how long did that pain last after you pushed?
Not long.
Okay, good.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. What were you wearing?
Boxers. Maybe a t-shirt like this. I think red boxers.
Red boxers? Were they like boy shorts?
Yes.
The boy short boxers? Okay. And so when he was born, how did he come out? Did he come out feet first, head first, arms first, or something else?
Feet first. I believe head
Head first?
Head first.
Okay.
Because I remember grabbing
Where did you grab?
maybe his shoulders.
Okay.
Grabbed him.
Kind of
Brought
helped you?
him next to me.
Okay. And was he still in your board shorts when he brought it next to you? So how did you get the board shorts off?
I didn't. I just kept them on.
You moved them over?
Yes. I believe I pulled them down
Okay.
because it was a lot of fluids
Mm-hmm.
coming out, and I grabbed him and I put him on the side of me, and I remember grabbing the umbilical cord with the sack.
Mm-hmm.
Like a bunch of fluid came out after I grabbed the sack.
What color was that fluid?
Red.
Okay.
The detective was also trying to understand if Bianca was intoxicated while delivering the baby because of her behavior during the incident.
And then this morning, you went to work?
Yes, sir.
And You said you got home and you noticed the blinds.
Yes, sir.
And what was she doing when you noticed the blinds?
She was in my bed.
She was laying in your bed?
In my bed.
Okay. And was she sleeping? Was she awake?
She was awake.
And what was she doing?
Just laying in my bed. I had called her earlier and she told me she was in the shower.
So at some point you took your legs out of the shorts. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you walked to the shower without him, right? You said you took a shower?
Yes.
So you didn't have him on your side then, so how did the shorts come off of you?
I remember taking them off, and he was laying on the bed by himself.
Okay. And what kind of cry was he having at that point?
Like when you hear on TV when they first come out.
Yeah. And so when you took the shorts off of your leg and put him on the bed by himself, he was still crying?
No, sorry.
Oh,
That was when he gave birth. He wasn't making any noise when I went to take a shower.
When did he stop crying?
Maybe 5 minutes to 10 minutes after I gave birth, I believe.
Okay. And was it still next to you, or was he?
What do you mean?
Was he still next to your leg, or was he next to you?
When I got up,
No, when he stopped crying.
he was next to me.
On your leg, though? When he stopped crying?
Next to me. Yes, I was still laying down.
When did you first see his face?
Still viewing.
You never saw his face on the bed?
It's dark in my room, really dark.
Okay.
I used to keep sunblocker, not sheets, shades, the window curtains. It was really always dark in my room.
Did you pull them down at some point, I think? The ones behind you?
Yes, when I was giving birth.
Is that when you punched and kind of...
Yes.
Okay, so that makes sense now. Okay. So, I hate to keep doing this to you, but I wasn't there, so I've got to figure it out.
Right.
So, you've got your boy shorts on. They're still on both legs?
I believe I took this leg out and moved it over to this leg. I only had one on.
How come you didn't take both off? How did you get that one off without getting the other one off?
Sorry, I think I just took it off this leg and pulled it back up. Oh, I don't remember.
Okay.
Was he in my boy shorts still?
From what I understand, he was in your boy shorts when fire rescue came. When fire rescue came. So it was already afternoon, and it took before he started getting a cramp, and then took a little bit to give birth. He said about 10 minutes of pain, and then he pushed, and then he was out.
Yes, sir.
So it could be anywhere from the afternoon to 4 or 5 o'clock when Mom came home. But before that, you took a shower.
Yes, sir.
You said? So I think when Mom called you, it was about 4. Because I got that.
Yeah, she was on the way home.
Yeah, so she called you around 4. So between noon and 4, this happened. How long did it take for him to stop crying?
Not long. He was just sitting there with me.
So about 5 to 10 minutes, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And was the whole time, was he on your side, or did you end up, I think I remember last time we spoke, you said you moved him up to lay next to you, and pulled a blanket over him, I think, if that's correct.
Yes, when I went to go take a shower, yes.
Okay, so he's next to you in the leg.
Yes, sir.
Get me to the point where we're going to take a shower. I know the time frame might not work for you, but tell me how he's laying here, he's crying, then what happens?
He's crying, and I remember him laying next to me, and it was cold, and so I took him out of my boxers, and I put him next to me, and for some reason I didn't want to look, and I remember just looking at him, and he was just so tiny.
This is what the police officer saw when he entered her room that day.
Okay. Did she say why she thought the baby was dead?
Just because it's a newborn baby in a bed by itself, with the placenta still attached to it.
Okay.
I guess it wasn't breathing when she saw it, all that together. I think she had some type of medical, she said she worked at a assisted living or rehab around here, so I guess.
Do you remember what she was wearing?
She had like scrubs on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think she said she was a nurse. When you asked if the baby was alive, did she tell you anything?
She kind of said, I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay. And how did she appear to you?
Even just asking her for a driver's license, you know, she was like, I don't know. I don't know. The mom actually got the driver's license for me from the daughter out of her purse.
Okay. Who cut the cord, do you know?
We did.
Okay. Who's?
The rescue truck.
Okay, the rescue did? Okay.
And, I pulled him next to me, and then I went to get up to take a shower. And it was cold, and he felt cold, so I pulled the blanket up to his chin. And I remember feeling like the blood around me and stuff was, you know, getting cold, so I went up and walked and took a shower. My mom called me. I'm sorry if this doesn't make sense.
It does. It totally does. It totally does. You're okay. So you go in and take the shower, but before that, when you pulled the blanket up to his chin, you said you took the boxers off of you and then moved them next to you?
Yes, sir.
And was he still crying?
No, sir.
Was he doing anything?
No, sir.
Okay. Did you see was he moving at all? Okay.
No.
All right.
Either I was on the couch, sitting there, or in my room. I think I was on the couch when she came home, because I heard her car pull up, so I went to the couch.
Where were you before you went to the couch?
In the room, laying down.
Okay.
And it was kind of like a robot. Like, I knew my mom was going to know what to do. Because I think I knew in my head what was going on, but I couldn't comprehend. Like, I wasn't even talking. And I knew my mom would know what to do. I remember just looking at her like, help me.
Did you say that, or you just looked at her?
Just looked at her.
Did you ever go in her room?
No. And she ran in there and started screaming at me to call the ambulance. And I was like, I can't. And she, you know, handed me her phone, and I was like, I don't know how to talk. And she ended up grabbing it from me and talking to them. They were there quick.
So what happened when they got there?
There was a lady officer trying to talk to me. She was Spanish looking, and I couldn't really talk.
And could you hear him breathing?
No, I couldn't hear him breathe.
So it wasn't making any noise to breathe, like you or I breathe, we don't make noise. So
Right, no, he wasn't making any noise. He wasn't responding to any of the people who were looking to adopt him. I knew further along into my pregnancy, I couldn't do it.
Couldn't do it?
I couldn't give him up. So I stopped responding to those people. I still have their brochures in my room. I just couldn't do it.
And so so you were thinking you were going to keep him?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
And how was that going to play out?
We always made it work in my house. I would give my life for him to anything.
The only thing Bianca had to say on the day she delivered her baby and was brought to the hospital was that she didn't know what had happened, which raised even more questions.
Can you tell me what happened today, Bianca? I don't know. How long have you been pregnant? What's that?
I don't know.
You don't know? Were you scheduled for delivery anytime soon?
I don't know.
What's that?
I don't know.
You don't know? How long have you known he was going to be a boy?
I don't know.
You don't know that either? Did you have any names picked out? Mom said you were thinking about Aries. Is that one? You said you were thinking about adoption. Is that true? Now your mom told me that the sack was around him. Do you remember that?
No.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah, after you took a shower, I think you were on Instagram for a little bit.
Yes, I'm on Instagram a lot, just aimlessly scrolling.
Did you message anybody while you were on Instagram afterwards?
I don't believe so. Maybe, I don't know.
So what do you think caused him to stop crying?
Not cutting his umbilical cord?
So this is the ME report. It talks about his development. He was well developed. And the findings are what's called traumatic asphyxia. And what that means is that he basically couldn't breathe. And so we have to figure out why he couldn't breathe. Yeah.
Well, maybe he died because I didn't cut the cord.
No. But was it touching your body? That you?
I know I felt a part of him touching me.
Right.
I don't know if specifically it was his head or not, but I know he was touching me.
Because when I read the report, it talks about there's a mark from the shorts along his body, okay? And it's the word is called petechia, full of dots. So it's kind of bruising. And it says scattered petechia involve the posterior scalp, neck, shoulders, and upper body, as well as along the lines just below the axillary folds, and so that's indicative of kind of pressure, right? And that's kind of why, that's also why I asked about if you place anything on his face, whether it be on purpose or accidentally, to keep him from breathing, because any pressure on his face with a pillow or a blanket, they're tiny little creatures and they can't push that away or anything like that, so.
Maybe the blanket? When I got up? Yeah, I thought it was up to his chin, it wasn't.
He was laying on his back at that point?
I don't remember.
Okay. Yeah.
It was like right here for a little while.
Okay.
And then I remember grabbing him and pulling him upwards towards me. And it was after I pulled out the umbilical cord in the sack.
Okay. And were both legs still in the shorts when you pulled him up?
I believe so. No. I don't know.
Okay. Well, but he was still in the shorts as well when you pulled him up?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what did you use to pull him up? Hands, feet, neck, head? No, his hands, feet, neck, head. Where did you put your hands to pull him up?
His shoulders, his arms, and I pulled him up.
Okay. Do you mind if I go grab something really quick?
That's okay.
I'll be right back.
She began breaking down as the detective proceeded with his questions, to the point that he had to comfort her.
So instead of trying to figure this out, like describe it, this is what we normally use. Do you mind just doing that? I made sure it wasn't it's a little girl, so. If you can. Do you want a hug first? Come here. I can get you some water in a little bit if you want. So from the beginning, so he's born in your shorts, and where does he end up?
At first he's down here.
In the middle?
After I gave birth,
Mm-hmm.
and he came out like head first.
Okay.
And so I picked him up like that. And I put him here in my shorts, and I took my shorts off. This leg.
Okay.
And I just didn't care anymore. I just left him on this leg.
Yeah.
And then I pulled him upwards to here.
Okay.
He was facing this way.
He's like that? Okay.
Yeah.
And hands up against your body, crying. At that point, he's crying here?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Excuse me?
It's okay. If you don't know, don't guess. All right, and then what happened? How long did you lay like that?
A while.
Yeah, a while longer. Yeah. All right. So you laid there for a while.
Yes.
And then what happened after you were laying there for a while?
I went on my phone, stared at the wall. I remember just not being able to talk and just kind of moving like a robot.
Meanwhile, her boyfriend called her again to check up on her.
Hello? Not really. I'm talking to the detective. Sorry, I don't mean to be angry towards you. I don't know how to feel. I feel like someone just punched me in the freaking chest. You stepped out of the room to grab me some more. He's being really nice. I'm gonna go. He just came back and I want more.
You want to stay on the phone? Is that your mom?
No, I think his mom's number.
Oh, that's...
He texted me and I didn't answer. So he grabs a random phone and called me from.
You had caffeine. Did you have any sodas or coffees or anything? Or stimulants?
Honestly, I drink, well, back then I drink coffee, but not really.
And then it was positive for opioids. He was positive for opioids, oxymorphone.
What's that?
What's that?
Oxymorphone?
Yeah.
Like a Percocet?
It could be a Percocet. They don't really tell you. They just say, yeah, you have an oxymorphone in them. So is that something you take as a Percocets?
Mm-hmm.
And when was the last time you took a perk? Was it at mom's?
No, I wouldn't bring drugs in our house.
Okay.
And after women give birth and they suffocate their children.
The detective did try to ask her if she had killed the baby herself, as the clues were hinting towards.
Kind of depression?
No, not postpartum. It's called something. Like when, after women give birth, that when they were throwing them in the dumpster or something. I mean, something like that. Like, purposely killing my son? No. Excuse my language, no. I wouldn't do that.
Okay. I don't think you would do that. But in your state of mind, did you do that?
No, sir. No.
Because that's the underlying question.
Right.
Right? You know, with the way you reacted to us and kind of didn't want to talk to us and
Really?
what?
When I didn't want to talk and gave that impression?
No, not necessarily. I'm just saying the question could be raised, was that why?
Right.
I mean, the way I've treated you, do you think I came across that way? But I have to ask the tough questions.
No.
Right?
No,
And
I've been nice.
And I'm looking at this, and I will tell you that I don't know that the Shorts could do it by itself. I don't believe the Shorts did it by itself. I think there was something else, and it could be in your state of mind of being afraid to keep him or put him up and being confused, or was it an accident where you rolled over? Was it an accident where you placed something? Those are the things we got to figure out together. You know what I mean? There's what they call cause of death, asphyxia, and then the manner of death is homicide.
What?
And then the way it's written is because there was no action taken is considered homicide. It can be that because the not taking action had we called.
They put in a report I killed myself.
That's not what homicide means. Homicide is the overall death of another person, death of another human being. but we have to understand what happened.
I go to the bathroom.
It's important. I gotta get a female officer to take you back there because there's no, I don't know where the bathroom, was there a bathroom up front?
Look at everything.
No, I know, I'm not worried about everything. Was there a bathroom up front?
I don't know if it's like.
Neither was I. I'm not usually in this.
Slowly, it was becoming clearer that even if Bianca had not killed the baby herself, the results of her behavior did.
You know, obviously something, him suffocating.
Yes.
I mean, you want me to give you the answer.
Well,
Like, what do you think I think it is?
Yeah, tell me. I mean, you were there. Where do you, when I say that he suffocated, I want to know what you think happened. Because you were there, based on what you know, based on what you felt.
Honestly, from me putting the blanket over him to more of it, I think, him being in my boxers. Because they were, you know, small on me. But the way he was next to me, you know, literally right next to me. Could have been the boxers or the blanket.
When did you put the blanket on?
When I went to get up to take a shower.
And he'd already stopped crying by then?
Yes. So, he would have been crying the whole time, is what you're saying, when he was alive?
I mean, sometimes they could fall asleep, or, you know, babies do fall asleep too, because they get, you know, they wear themselves out, but, so I don't know, I wasn't, you know, but...
The boxers.
Was he moving when you took him and put him next to you?
No, he was crying when he was down.
Did he feel kind of limp or together, or how, you know, you were moving him around, how did he feel?
It's a big, like, red, fuzzy blanket.
I remember.
And like, I don't know where myself, and he was under the blanket.
Did he stop crying while he was between your legs before you moved him?
Yes.
So he didn't really cry next to you?
No.
Why did you tell me he did?
But now that you're telling me this.
You're thinking back? And you put the blanket over him?
No, I can't put the blanket over me. I'm usually always wrapped up in something because I've been cold.
Okay. So he was crying when he came out?
Yes, sir.
And then, when did he stop crying?
Before I had picked him up. You know, when he was still on me. Because after I'd given birth, I'd sat there for a while and I was just confused and I wasn't comprehending. I just gave birth to my son.
Right. So were both legs still in your shorts at that time?
Yes.
And the red fuzzy blanket was over top? Okay.
He was in my boxers.
Okay. And how long did he cry for about 10 minutes while he was down there? And so then what happened next?
This unfortunate day was going to haunt her for the rest of her life.
I picked him up and I put him next to me. That was him.
The way you told me?
Yes, sir.
But he wasn't crying anymore.
That's
Hmm?
why I killed him. The blanket over him.
Did you know that he was not breathing when you moved him on your hip?
No. His head was poking out this leg, but it was like cut off.
What do you mean?
Like part of his head was still in the boxers.
Okay.
So that was the bruises. And it just pulled this leg down.
Okay. Take your time. Don't guess. Look at me. You're not a monster. I can see it in your face. You're not. Okay? Just want to know the truth. I know. I just want to know the truth.
I lifted the blanket up, like well, it was towards my chest, and I lifted it up, and I remember opening my legs and just gushing out water, and I remember feeling the umbilical cord and it was so slimy. It was pulling, and the sack just popped out. I remember looking just like a ball of red mush. And I put the blanket back down and acted as if
So you hadn't even seen him yet because you just got that out and put the blanket back? And he was crying while he was down there? Yes. The same kind of cry we talked about?
Yeah.
Okay. And did you feel it moving between your legs? Yeah. Did you say you took your leg out or did you leave it in?
Yes, I took this leg out. And I kept this one in, and I think I took my shorts off.
Took them all the way off?
Yes.
Okay.
And pulled them down to the end of my bed, and then grabbed him and pulled him next to me.
Okay. And where were your shorts? And then when Mom came home, what did you tell her about what happened?
When I was in the hospital, she wouldn't talk to me.
Why not? What does she think happened?
She accused me of killing him.
What did she say?
She didn't have to say it. Just
That's what you feel like she thinks?
for not talking while I was in the hospital. She told my stepmother to take care of me. She couldn't do it anymore.
Why would she think he would kill your child? Did you know that if you kept him there that he would not be able to breathe? Did you kill your son, Bianca? Did you suffocate him? Did you do those things to keep me from having to make a choice? Is there anything else you want to tell me? And you promise everything was true and correct? Okay.
This case does shed light on the fact that the environment for teenagers matters a lot during their growing years. Had Bianca been guided by her parents in her life decisions, maybe the outcome would have been different. She had also been consuming of all kinds while pregnant, and only she knows what happened that day and whether the death of the baby was deliberate. Subsequently, she was charged with aggravated manslaughter of a child and child neglect causing great bodily harm. YouTube thinks you'll love the video on screen. Click to watch now.